Hi everyone, you're watching GG Gaming Gone Mad, episode 9. We've got a great show ahead of us. For the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be talking some of the betting that's coming up on the weekend. We've got a new guest. He's not new to this forum by any means. We always do the rugby show, The Handicap, on a Thursday night. But he hasn't appeared on GG Gaming Gone Mad before, and that's Henrik Swart. We'll be catching up with him now. He, of course, won our Destination Loftus competition. So GG Gaming flew him and a mate up from Cape Town to Loftus last week for that incredible test match, which ended rather disappointingly for many of us, but he certainly had a great experience there. We're also trying to get Gary on the line. We've had some technical issues, but I see he's coming in now. And before I bring Gary in, let me say to you, Henrik, well done on the competition. I'm sure you had a great time, and that's a nice GG Gaming shirt you're wearing there.
Yes, thank you, Brent. It was a brilliant time, a brilliant trip, and yeah, GG Gaming, Gary, they spoiled us. It was very nice. They gave us brilliant tickets, box tickets, and the flights and everything. Everything was so professional. And yeah, Kerry came through. She came through to Stellenbosch, to my workplace. Gave me the tickets, gave me some clothing. We had lunch, and it was just a brilliant test match, and a bit heartbreaking at the end with the Boks losing. But yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, certainly. I know you are in New Zealand over 33.5 points, but you wrote that off and then just started getting behind the Boks. And I think that's often what happens in situations like that. And now we'll bring Gary in, and with a bit of luck, we'll be able to hear him clearly. Gary, how are you? You're at Emperors tonight.
I am at Emperors. There goes that competition. Yes, I am at Emperors tonight. Thanks, Brent. Palace of Dreams. Can you hear me nicely now?
It's still quite faint for some reason. I'll let the guys on the live comments, because it might just be me. I'll let the guys just comment if you're very faint there. So you might just have to shout so that a few rooms away can hear you.
Okay, no, that's no problem at all. You know what it's like in these casino places. Nobody's in their rooms between sort of 8 in the evening and 2 in the morning. So it doesn't matter if I have to shout. I don't mind talking up a little bit. But just to get back to Heinrich, I mean, at the end of the day, he deserved nothing less, Brent? I mean, he was spot on in 2 games almost, you know. That's tough enough to get anything right in sports betting or in sports predicting. And he did well, consistent over 2 weekends. So really good luck to him, and I'm happy that he enjoyed it.
Yes, the guys are saying that you're very faint, but they can hear you, so hopefully we'll get away with it. So, Gary, this weekend, we've got a big weekend coming up as far as the Currie Cup goes. The final log positions are going to be finalised. I see you've had a bit of money coming down early on one of the sides. I saw, I think, 7 to 10. I think it was on the Lions -9 against the Pumas.
Yeah. I think generally they're about 12 everywhere else, Brent. I don't know if we can maintain the 9 at any price, you know. It just looks like too much money and everything, and we may have to change that and move that market out closer to the 11-12 mark before the game starts. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but I mean, in all likelihood, it looks like the pressure's going to force us there.
Yeah, that's it. And Henrik, of course, has just got back from Loftus. As we said, he changed his mind on his bet. Henrik, you've obviously studied up on the weekend's form. What do you think of the Lions on the minus?
I don't like the team the Lions have picked, Brent. I like the Pumas here. The Pumas, it's the chance for them to qualify for the semi-finals. I don't think they have ever qualified. They've got a solid chance here. Well, the Lions have Elton Yankees back, but I don't rate the Lions, and I'm not fond of the team, and I think the Pumas have a good chance of winning here. So I like the Pumas on the plus here.
Yeah, so you actually give them an outside chance of maybe making a run for the playoffs. And I guess, Gary, that's good news for you. You're laying the Lions there, and Henrik, who's one of the more informed punters at the moment, reckons the Pumas.
Well, it's not only informed, it's informed as well. Let's be honest, Brent.
Yes.
People that say informed, you know what I mean? The skillful punters like Henrik like to think that they're doing it out of skill. So, yeah, he's done really well. And, yeah, it is a bit of comfort to me that Dave has somebody that agrees with him for the first time since October the 1st. I mean, that's the truth. He's gone 10 days, Dave. Nobody's agreed with one of his rugby predictions that somebody is now. So, yeah, join the small club, Henrik, you and Dave.
That's it. And, Gary, what else is big this weekend? We've got no English Premier League football. And just to mention to the guys, there were 3 guys, because, of course, your cert got rolled last week. You finally came short. And we had 3 guys win a 1,500 Rand free bet. So just to mention to those guys, I'm sure they're listening, that we'll be in touch with them over the next week and give them the details of how to claim their bet, because we did say that it had to be on the English Premier League.
Yes,
and, of course, no English Premier League this week. It's a bit of a quiet one from a footballing perspective.
Yeah, these international breaks, whatever they call them, are ridiculous. You know, I'm not the biggest football fan in the world. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But when it doesn't happen, you miss it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of my wife, but when she goes away for 4 or 5 years, I start to miss third year. No, I do. I'm being serious, especially when the washing starts to pile up and everything. No, it can be very depressing.
Well, I mean, your wife was very happy. I was down in Cape Town earlier this week, so I met up with Gary for supper, and he had to pick his wife up at the airport. And unfortunately, my flight down had been delayed, so I was a little bit late getting there. So I don't think the wife was too happy when you made an Uber home there, Gary.
Remember, she gave us a call. She said, I'm at the airport. Where are you? I said, no, I'm just with Brent. He's finishing his second beer. I'll be there as soon as he's at his 5th or 6th. I'll catch an Uber. I mean, what? But anyway, you know.
Well, Gary, you and I couldn't really chat too much before the show. So what we've done this week is let Henrik pick his bet.
Yeah.
So seeing that you got rolled last week, we give you a week off.
Thank
and Henrik's come in. He has said he's perhaps not as confident this week as some of the others. But Henrik, what's your punt, your certainty for this week?
Brent, I've gone for the double. I like Western Province and the minus. They've been good this season. I've called them right every game so far, and I can't see why you want to go against them. They've picked a good team. They got a few bucks back. So I've taken Western Province. The first leg of my double is Western Province minus 10. And then in the Mitre 10 Cup, you know, I've been doing all right there. I've gone for Waikato on the minus 8 against Otago on Saturday. It's a Ranfurly Shield game. Waikato, they've secured the top spot in the championship. So in terms of that, they don't have a lot to play for. But it is a Shield game, so they'll be up for that. And I think they should win by double figures. So Western Province minus 10.5 onto Waikato minus 8.5.
Right, and that double works out at 24-10. So that's Henrik's double on this one. And Gary, nice to hear guys taking bets on not only the local rugby, but also like the Mitre 10 Cup in New Zealand. And of course, we've got the European Champions Cup coming up this weekend as well. All the big teams like Lens and that are going to be in action. And quite often the team news comes out quite late there, but there are going to be some shrewd punters coming in there, I'm sure.
Well, what we've done now is we have to suspend betting. There's a time normally that comes out on Thursday or Friday where the team announcements are made. And the market moves can be ridiculous, Brent. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. They can go from minus 15 to minus 25.5. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
I think the bookmaker in their right mind wants to suspend things. At the end of the day, it's not about being scared or anything. I've always said we have to give everybody a fair chance. And I think that punters also have to understand that bookmakers must be given a fair chance, you know. For any business or relationship to work, there has to be a bit of give and take, you know. So these markets, I think you will see get suspended occasionally, but they come back on after as soon as the team announcements are made.
Right, so we're gonna call this one the Beat the Cert this week. And Gary, what are we gonna go with? Some free bets for the? I've written out, and I'll show it at the end what the guys have got to do to win. What are you gonna put up for the guys this week if Henrik's bet falls short?
So for the first 3 people, if he gets 0 out of 2, I'm going to give them a 3,000 Rand free betting voucher. And
right.
1 out of 2, I'll give them a 1,500 Rand free betting voucher. And you know what I mean? In the most likely event that he gets them both right. He'd look confident. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best poker player in the world, but to me, Arnie looked like he was absolutely 100% convinced he was going to catch his double. So, you know what I mean? I would say the punter should just lump on and follow him, Brent.
That's it. Lump on the double. And yeah, I like that as well. And certainly we know that Henrik's in pretty good form. Henrik, anything else that stands out for you? We will, of course, be talking on the handicap in a few minutes' time as well. But anything else that stands out for you on the weekend that you can share with the punters?
That's my 2 best bets on the rugby, Brent. I will be focusing on the 3 Currie Cup games that will get most of our attention. So the other Currie Cup game, the Griquas and the Sharks. Griquas, they're good in Kimberley. The Sharks, they haven't been good on the road, although they've picked up pretty strong side. I'm not that fond of Kevin Bosch at 10. I see they've picked them in Slyhoff and Robert Bray at 12. It's not a good pick for me. But yeah, I think Griquas, they can stay within single digits there. I'll look to back Griquas at half time because they're a very good second half team. You can go and check most of their games. They've fallen behind a bit in the first half, and then they come back in the second half. They're a very good second half team.
Right, yeah, that sounds like a good betting angle on that one. Gary, just to mention, your master punter competition did finish. We discussed it last week. We're going to get those guys on. Have they indicated a willingness to come on the show at some point?
Yeah, they'll come on next week. They're going to come on this week. but I thought it more appropriate to get Heinrich on because he was at the rugby last weekend.
Yeah.
The punter competition. They're not going to forget about that for a long time, let's be honest, you know. So I'm sure they're both watching and they'll both be on the show next week.
Yeah, that's it. And we're coming into the international season as well. I've got a feeling next week, and Henrik, you'll know this, it could be the final Bledisloe Cup game next weekend, or is it the weekend after that, you know?
I don't actually know, Brent. I haven't. I had a busy week at work this week, so I haven't had a lot of chance to look at the rugby. Sorry, I'm not sure.
I'm surprised you were productive at work after that weekend away. But anyway, that's it. Yeah, so a bit of a strange betting weekend, this one. Gary, anything else catch your eye? Anything else? I know you guys are doing, I see you've set up a WhatsApp line now, and you're doing some price boots. Anything interesting that you think the punters might like?
We got price boosts, you know, to some of the English people to score goals, one or two things here or there. I'd like to just say for the guys to go online and see what our price boosts are. Not for any reason, not though I don't know what those, not for that at all. But I just think, you know what I mean, go online, see not only what the price boosts are, whatever else there is there. You know what I'm saying? There might be something that catches your eye. The only way you know is if you go to gggaming.bet and see if there's anything there. It's quite possible the three of us might have gone past and not spotted something that sticks out. So go there, peruse the site, see what you like. And you know what I mean? If we have made a mistake, have a go. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. We can do the settling come Tuesday. And it'll be our absolute pleasure, you know what I mean, when people back winners with us.
Excellent. Well, look, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna screen share, and I'm sure the Oracle will wait to see this, because Oracle for 3 successive weeks has been the first person to answer the question, and unfortunately he hasn't been the first person to answer it correctly. He keeps on making subtle mistakes. And let's see. I know that he's going to want to put himself in line to win the prize. So I'm going to share the screen now, and I'll take you to the slide, which I wrote out just beforehand. So kind of hoping that it does actually read well. There's Hendricks 24-10 certainty this week. We've got the rugby double, Western Province -10, Waikato -8.5, not 85. Don't worry about that. I'll just change it there. The first 3 punters, and just bear in mind, Gary has put up a different prize. This is still the prize from last week, so I'll change it on the Good for the Game website. You've got to tweet at Brent Graham. I want you to tweet me the handicap in the Leon v Cardiff Blues game as it stands on GG Gaming at the moment, with a link to the show and the hashtag GGGaming Gone Mad. 3,000 Rand betting vouchers if Hendrik gets both his legs wrong, and if he gets 1 out of 2, it'll be a 1,500 voucher. We'll change that, and we'll put that, of course, up on the Good for the Game site. So we'll have that up there. I'm going to stop sharing now and go back.
So we just one more competition, Brent, just to show that we've gone mad, right?
Yes.
Eating a chocolate, because I had to leave my dinner downstairs at Emperor's, which was delicious, I might add. But came upstairs and I was starving, so I'm having a chocolate. I don't want to give it all away. It is a Nestle chocolate. I think just don't get sued. Yeah, it's definitely a Nestle chocolate.
Right. And the guys have got to guess it.
But they've got 1 minute to get in there and say what the chocolate is. First person to get it right gets a 1,000 Rand free bet. I'll show you what it is in exactly 50 seconds. In exactly 50 seconds. There we go, guys. Guess the chocolate. You said a Nestle one, Gary? Yeah, I did indeed. Okay. Was it a big chocolate or a small chocolate? Mind you, I eat a lot of small chocolates. What do you think I do? I'd like to have a competition with anybody, right? If I give you a bowl of Lindt chocolates and you can eat one of those balls and not have another one, I swear I'll give you free bets for the rest of the year. Poker tournament. There was a bowl of these Lindt balls there. I phoned up the Guinness World Book of Records and asked what is the most Lindt balls eaten in an hour. And I came up with 1,732. And I only wish I'd been counting, because I went past that after the first 20 minutes easily, you know? Yeah. Right, has anybody We've got some answers. Let me read a couple out. Of course, a few of the guys have popped off the show to go and enter the other competition, but we've got Tex. Peter Paul says Tex. We've got Peppermint Crisp. Emil Korf says Peppermint Crisp. Ruan Faree says, he said Lunch Bar, but he's cancelled that because he said it's Cadbury. Oracle's come in with Tex as well. Has anybody got close yet? The Tex, there it is. Yep, there it is. Well done. So the first guy that said Tex was Peter Paul, a.k.a. Magic Man on Twitter. So well done with that. I just want to double check you were first. Yeah, he's first. Pretty impressive. And Gary, let me say that I give that Tex about a 15 seconds life expectancy at the end of the show. And you can tell Peter Paul, is it Paul Peter or Peter Paul? It's Peter Paul on here. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me have a look. It is, gee, there's so many comments. Peter Paul, yeah. You can either have 1,000 Rand free betting voucher, or you can have, I'll deliver him 2 dozen Texas, whatever he prefers. Whatever he decides. I'm sure you'll let us know.
Gary, thanks very much. Good chatting to you as always. Henrik, thanks for joining us on the show. Look forward to chatting to you on the handicap as well. And Gary, enjoy that text. Looking at the smile on your face, I think you are.
And I'll talk to you next week from back in Cape Town. Tomorrow, the big event in my poker series, the main event at Emperors. I'll be back in Cape Town next week. Henrik, well done. Keep up the good work. Brent, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll chat soon.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, and thanks everyone for tuning in to the GG Gaming Gone Mad show. You can check out Good for the Game in the Morning for details of the competition. I see the tweets have come through. I'll have to go and see who did it correctly, and we'll announce who the first 3 are and who the guys potentially standing to make some money. Henrik, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in about 14 minutes on the rugby show.
Cool. Thanks, Brent. Thank you, Gary.
Excellent. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Henrik. You can get the link to the rugby show on our YouTube channel. We'll see you at 9 o'clock. I think there were a few technical issues on tonight's show, so let's hope that's all cleared up by the time we get round to the handicap.